Hey everybody, it's Carpo. I figured this would be a good backdrop for a Friends video. I just wanted to talk for a minute about friends. I mean, I don't have very many friends, real friends, and it's not for lack of choice. I've just found myself being rather selective over the years because I've been wronged a few times by people. And I've chosen to separate myself from some people that I once knew, friends from my youth, friends that maybe that were drug buddies to party with, but that never quite got out of the party phase. And I don't hold anything against them. I just have seen that spending too much time with people who influence us badly is not a good thing. Um, it tends to bring us down to that level. As one person put it, spend your time, well, as many people have put it, spend your time around those who inspire you and those who bring you forward, those who are better people than you, those who have worked harder, because you'll learn from them and they will inspire you. And if you spend time with those who have lower values and integrity, you may sink to their level. I was just thinking because I had a friend come over, he just left a few minutes ago, my good buddy Mike, and we grew up together. And I met him on the school bus when we were 12 years old, coming home from first day of junior high. And we started talking and said, hey, do you want to go play? That was probably one of the last friends that, one of the oldest friends I have where you could actually say, let's go play or ride bikes. And we became skaters together, started skateboarding, we started becoming heshers together. We were really into heavy metal and the whole tattoos and spikes thing. Then we got into the hippie thing together, and then we went our separate ways. We got back together to do some business, and it didn't work out. We were a partnership for a while in carpentry, but we never left on bad blood, but it got to one of those things where it was a monetary issue, and I didn't want to hold it against him because he's my friend. And that's one of those things that we run into where a friend, we feel like somehow they owe us or they've wronged us. Now I let it go a long time ago. It wasn't a big deal. It was just a period of our life where we had a difference. But I've seen friends of mine who let their friendships get completely devastated by just that, by one little incident between them and someone that they really love. And I have about 3 or 4 good friends that I would trust my life with. And of course my wife is my best friend. And that's very important, people. I mean, I can't express that one enough. My buddy who was just here actually got divorced. He was married for a little over a year, and he was married to someone who was, I think she was a little younger than him, but she was in a different mindset than him, and they didn't quite, they couldn't get over their differences about certain issues. And I see this a lot, and it's sad when people get married and this happens, but I was very cautious with my wife. We were together for 15 years before we got married. And not for lack of want. We got engaged like the first year we were together, but we just never got married. Because materialism isn't important to her, and that was very important for me to know. I love the friends that I have, and loving your spouse like your best friend is super important. So anyway, that spouse part aside, having more friends does not mean that they're better friends. And I have the same experience on YouTube that I do with my friends, that I actually talk with on a day-to-day basis, or week to week, or some of them year to year. I only have really one friend that I talk to every week. Some of them are monthly, some of them are yearly, some bi-yearly, but there are some who I grew up with that I just chose to not really associate with. And I found the same thing happens with me online, with the friends that I've met online. Some people are good, friendly people, and well-rounded all the time. Some people are very rude and arrogant. Some people are friendly most of the time, and then they become rude and arrogant and belligerent sometimes, maybe because they drink or get angry about something and take it out on the internet. But all in all, the friends that you make online are really no different than the friends that you make in day-to-day life, except for the fact that you have, in other words, even if you make a friend, say you just met somebody at work, and you talk with them once in a while, you get to the point where you know them pretty well, but you're still not going to trust them with your life. If you spend day after day, day in and day out with them, then you're going to get to know them. You seldom spend that much time with somebody on the internet, but say you talk with one person, say a subscriber or somebody that you subscribe to, maybe every day or every other day, you feel like you know that person. When John came to visit me, John McDonough, it was awesome because the guy was great. He was just what I expected him to be, just a normal human, because I'd seen him in his videos and I felt like I really knew him. And so in that sense, when you see someone who's pouring their heart out into their videos, you feel like you know them even better than some of the people that you know in your daily life, because they tend to be a little bit fake when they're facing you, but people are more honest online. But anyway, the importance of real friends, though, it cannot be understated. It cannot be overstated. Sorry, it's very important to have actual people that you can visit and hug, real hugs, real life hugs with people, and making those connections. And it's sad because some people get really trapped in their, I picture these dark basements with computers and people, with piles of junk food, people who have no other friends and no other way to bond except for to go online and to meet people. And I feel sorry for those folks, because it's not easy to meet people in this world unless you get out there. And I'm very fortunate to have got out when I did, when I was a kid, and get out and meet people and make friends, because it's harder when you're older. You're more picky, and you're very much more selective about who you want to spend time with. And not only that, but once you have a full-time job and kids, it's nearly impossible to find time to spend with even your good friends, let alone some new person that you just met. So you kind of build the friends that you have when you're young, and hopefully you have good ones. Actually, my good friend Tim called me a couple weeks ago and asked me to go to Bagby Hot Springs with him, and so we're going to go up there next Tuesday, the day of the eclipse, which is cool. I'll take my telescope with me and maybe be able to watch the eclipse from up in the mountains, try to film it. Spending that time with a good friend like that, drive up, spend a long drive up to a place, and then a long hike up to it, just to spend a couple hours sitting in a hot springs hot tub, then to pack it all up and go home again. Now that's what a friend's all about. It's never the destination or how much time you spend there. It's the time, the valuable time that you spend together. Somebody you love, somebody you truly love. I'm trying to think, but I would honestly say I only have 4 friends that I really love and would trust with my life. Maybe 5. It's hard to tell, but somewhere in that vicinity, and that to me is golden. That's more than I could ask for. Any more than that, and I'd start to wonder who I could trust and not, because I'm very selective about who I spend my time with, and I think we all should be, because but don't feel, I guess, don't feel like people aren't worth the time. Forgive everyone. Forgive all trespasses. Anyone who has harmed you and done anything wrong. There's just nothing valuable in preserving that animosity. It only hurts you. I've done it before. I've held it in, and I know how it feels to be angry with someone who's wronged you. I know how it feels to actually go try to hunt someone down to find them because they wronged you. But in the end, we're all fools for trying to take revenge on things that happen in life. Hopefully we learn from our mistakes. That guy's determined. Well, I've wrapped this up, I guess. It's great talking with all y'all. I have a lot of different subjects I talk about, and I know that I ramble a lot, but it feels good to get the stuff out, I feel like it's a kind of a diary, but one that I feel I can share with other people. It's good. give some hugs to some real people.